So welcome back. The second of the tutorials in the Doji Creator, the backgrounds.ar art library, whatever is provided in Gumroad, you download it. You just put it in Documents, VS Art Libraries. So this folder, you remember, and then you put that AR lib here, and then restart Doji Creator. Now we will see how we can set backgrounds in any scenes. So whatever you have put into the VS Art libraries that will appear here. For example, here backgrounds. So these are some of the backgrounds. Let's pull one of the background. I just press enter here and then double click on this background to see whether it appears or not in the game. So if it is a JPEG image in the libraries or anywhere, in especially in the libraries, when you double click it, it comes like this with the library name. This is the library name underscore uh, the image name here. And then it says continue, which means go to the next instructions. Wherever you see continue, that means automatically go to the next instruction. Wherever you see, usually many instructions do not need continue, and some of the instructions do need continue. For example, after background, you don't want to wait for the user to click the mouse. So all this game happens because user has clicked the mouse. Uh, but at certain points, you don't want the user to click the mouse. Some instructions have to happen by themselves. For example, setting up the background here, you want it to happen by itself and proceed to the next instruction. Similarly, the if condition, so all these arithmetic operations and if conditions, else conditions, these are all evaluated dynamically and the next instruction is executed. If the next instruction needs a pause there, it will wait for the user input. Otherwise, it will continue to the next instruction. So these are some of the instructions which need a pause. So it pauses here and waits for the user input. So let's see whether this background has appeared or not. I'll save the game. Control S saves and then rebuild the game, start the game. So this is the first question it is asking. This has come. So all these backgrounds are 1980 by 1920 by 1080. So if I press Alt Enter, my entire screen is covered. Since I have a taskbar underneath, you still see the sides. So because it is proportionately resized. If I remove the taskbar, it will resize to the full screen. If I press escape, it will come back from full screen to windowed mode. Now you can do whatever you want. That background is set throughout the scene. Till you change the background, that background is maintained. The game has ended. So you cannot restart this game because this is dynamically compiled game. Only when you actually publish the game or you actually compile the game into a file, this restarting of the game happens from the player. So this right now in this panel, you cannot restart the game. You'll have to recompile the game and reset the game. So please understand that. So this menu item is new game, open the game, save the game, or save the current script, save all opened files, add a folder, remove folder under this section, and then compile compile dynamically and run it. If you want, you can run it. Now there is also a possibility here. If you want to finalize the game, you can just say finalize so that a unique ID is generated and that ID is used to compile the game. Similarly, if you want more debug log, you want to see which instruction is giving you problem. Uh, this is more specifically for the developer like me who has developed it, but you can also see that. So for example, if I compile it, you can see a lot of log has come on the right side here, right? Come on. So these are some of the regular expressions I was trying to match each of these lines. So everything is good, seems good. For most of your purposes, this log will suffice. Otherwise, you'll have to look at this. Just let me close the game player. Now, during the game execution, you might also want to save the game somewhere. Update the reference data. After some time, you want to, when you're coding the game, you want to look at the variables because they are case sensitive and you'll have to go back and forth between this file and other files. It's a constant pain. So what I do is when you compile it, I can set the variables here. So let me compile this game, update the reference data. So when I do this, all your variables are coming here. So you know what are the variables, you know what are the functions, you know what are the menus, and then navigation menus, scenes. You know everything, all the metadata here, so that you can easily code. You can go into another file and use a variable, whatever variable you want to use. So that's the advantage here. Now images are displayed here. Whatever images you have are displayed here. Here the images are not displayed. It's only the list of files that are there in the game are opened here. Here the images are displayed. They can also be opened in a viewer. Suppose you have a character image. You want to see which image you want. You just have to double click here, or you just have to double click on this list. You can open this images. So we have seen how to set the backgrounds. We will see how to change the background also. So let's go into backgrounds here. So here, this background belongs to the directory of the game. These are the backgrounds that are there in the art library that I have provided. Okay. So let's change the background here before the options. Okay. So I double click here. I set another background. I will run this game again. Let's see what happens. So I start the game, again the same question. So this is a green background. Now it asks me something. Now the background has changed and then the menu has appeared. So that's all. So we have seen how to set the backgrounds. So the last statement is go to exit and it goes to the next scene, whatever is coded here. You can have multiple scenes, but mind you, whatever you're calling, any function that you're calling, they must precede the scenes. Any function that you call should be in a sequential order. The first function cannot call the second function. So you put the second function at the top. So for example, the praise user is there. So suppose there is another function called, now this can call praise user because this is sequentially underneath. But you cannot call hello here, at least for now. Um, that is how it is. You have to ensure the sequence of the functions. Otherwise, you will get hello is undefined function. You will get into a confusion state that I have written hello. Why is it saying hello is undefined function? Let's execute and see. So you will see undefined function, and moreover, it is not giving any line item also because this is the last stage of revalidation of the code. Everything is compiled, everything looks fine, except that a function that is defined is not found. So there is a problem. So you need to ensure that this call doesn't happen. So otherwise, everything is fine. So that's all in this second session. We will look at other possibilities in the third session. Thank you.